Yo, what is up everyone? OG over here from NewsEssence, and welcome to another NewsEssence video that I have here for you guys. Today we have some awesome information, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot has said that they are happy with the Nintendo Switch sales, they are happy with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle sales, and they plan on doing more for the company. So in a recent investors meeting, here's what the CEO Yves Guillemot had to say on the matter. So yes, this relationship continues to grow, and we are very happy with what we are able to achieve with Mario plus Rabbids. Let's also not forget the fact that Just Dance is also a big seller on the Nintendo Switch, and that will continue to follow the growth of the machine. And yes, in the future, we are going to do more things. We just can't go over that right now. So the biggest thing with this, guys, as far as when Ubisoft comes in with the Nintendo Switch, is that you can see that basically the support, what they did, is completely different from what they did before. Now, in the past, with the Wii U and with the Wii, you actually saw a few more different titles come out at the beginning of the life cycle. Usually saw Ubisoft's titles, we saw Just Dance, we saw like Rayman, Raving Rabbids, but this time what they did, they kind of went with more of like the cartoon or the mascot style games at the beginning, and they made sure that they had a strong collaboration game. So Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle at the beginning of the life. Then they also brought out some ports. We got stuff like Just Dance. We also got Rayman Legends very early as well. And hopefully we're gonna see stuff like South Park and things like that in the future. But I do feel that Nintendo and Ubisoft probably played this one right. People are still looking for, well, where's Steep at? And where's like Assassin's Creed? And where's Far Cry? But I think that Nintendo and Ubisoft tried that last time. They tried Zombie U, they tried Assassin's Creed, they tried all that at the beginning of the life, and it really didn't work out. I think those titles particularly, they need to wait till you have a little bit more of an expanded audience before you can have some success with those titles. I'm not sure how many Nintendo fans are going to rush out to go buy Assassin's Creed on the Nintendo Switch over a different platform that they might already have in their house, like a PS4 or an Xbox One. So I do think that those titles will come eventually down the line. I do think that those titles will come. Heck, I know about a couple different titles that are going to be coming to Nintendo Switch from Ubisoft, but it's just going to take a little bit more time than usual just so the install base can get up there. And plus, they're doing some great collaborations as well. But overall, I think that Ubisoft support has been solid. It hasn't been amazing or anything like that, but it's been solid on the Nintendo Switch. They did say that they are the leading third-party publisher on the Nintendo Switch, and what they meant by that was by Mario plus Rabbids sales, like the video game sales. Are they the actual leading publisher on the system? No, there are other publishers, there are other Japanese publishers that have put way more out on the system. There are other Western publishers, independent developers, like Nicalis, for example, that have put out way more out on the system, all physical editions and all of that, all core games for gamers out there. So they're definitely not the leading publisher when it comes to the gamers' minds in terms of games and volume, but they are the leading when it comes to, they probably have the highest selling third-party game on the Nintendo Switch, which is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. But then again, they're using the Mario license for that. I think a lot of third-party games could be the leading in terms of sales if they had the Mario license to use. Nothing to take away from Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It's a great game in its own right. But overall, I do think that Ubisoft is doing some good things. Hopefully we see some more stuff from them this year. I'm excited to see what's going to be going down. A lot of you guys have been asking me about Steep and all of that because that game has pretty much been MIA for a while, but I think we just need to be patient, and Ubisoft is going to deliver more great content. So what do you guys think about Ubisoft so far, and what Ubisoft titles would you like to see on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the most exciting part of this NewsEssence, we have the E3 2018 floor plans. You guys can see exactly what floor plans that E3 is going to be doing, and there's so much information from this. No, there actually isn't much from this, but everyone always talks about the E3 floor plans for all the big three and kind of what's going on there, and if you can kind of deduct anything from them. I had a lot of people link this to me, had some people bring it up in my live stream and everything, and I'm just like, yeah, E3 floor plans. Every year, it always makes kind of like the front page news just to kind of see if there's anything that you can squeak out from those floor plans. Maybe there's like a bigger area, so that means they can have some type of crazy game. I mean, one of the things, I think like 2014, it was like Smash Brothers. Nintendo had a pretty huge area, so people were trying to say, okay, well, what's going on here? They might have some other stuff that they're going to talk about. But for me, with the E3 floor plans, I've been to E3, for those who don't know. I've been there 3 years, or 3 times more like it. I went 3 years in a row. I took a break last year. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back this year. But E3 is one of those things to where like you'll see the floor plans, they're all lined up. Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, they're all lined up right next to each other, and then there's like all the third parties, okay? Then there's all the third parties on like the other side, and you have to kind of make like this long walk, and if you have a bunch of equipment, it gets pretty tiring, you know, so you got to make sure that your endurance is good when it comes to E3. But that's the one thing that E3 has always been about, man. I mean, you can just go there, you can see the big booths, you can go in and you can play the games. Well, you got to stand in line unless you're like IGN and all that. They get floor shows, they have their own booth set up and game spots and all of that. So for me, E3 floor plans, I mean, it's cool to see. Nothing really too exciting about them. You can't really deduct anything. Nintendo has the same spots that they've always had. Sony has the same spot. Microsoft. Everyone's pretty much doing the same thing so far from these floor plans. Now, we still need to wait and see. It looks like there's going to be a big show across the board. Microsoft is looking to gear up. We've heard them talk about how they want to acquire more developers and they want to do more first-party stuff. And I think that they're probably going to show up pretty big this year. We have to wait and see, though. Obviously, Sea of Thieves, their Game Pass, people are excited about that. Sony has momentum of selling more than 73 million consoles plus so far when it comes to their numbers, so I'm pretty sure they're going to have a bunch of great stuff. They still got Spider-Man, they've still got a bunch of great games that they're going to be releasing this year. And of course, Nintendo, people want to know about that second half lineup. We have rumors going around. Could there be potentially a Smash Brothers game? Could there be Animal Crossing? We need to still see Fire Emblem. So I think overall E3 is going to be amazing. There's going to be a lot of great stuff, but I don't think Nintendo's going to kind of just blow everything at E3. A lot of people think, okay, well, everything's going to be at E3, right? Every single year I see the same stuff from people, and every single year people say, oh yeah, they're going to have everything. And then like right after E3 or a couple months after E3, Nintendo has their own directs. Nintendo announces stuff in a press release. For example, last year, Nintendo announced Doom and Wolf 2 and all that at a Nintendo Direct after E3, and they also announced the Super Nintendo Classic after E3 as well. That's all stuff that they could have announced at E3, and then they waited to do that. So people are always kind of hyping themselves and gearing them up for Nintendo to be big at E3, and don't get me wrong, they might be big there. You know, these floor plans are obviously as big as they've always been, but at the same time, like, that doesn't mean everything's going to be at E3. They have their Nintendo Directs, they have their press releases, they have their stuff that they're going to do. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. So what do you guys think about these floor plans here for E3? Are any of you guys going or planning to go in the future? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the final article here, Platinum Games Hideki Kamiya talked about Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, and Bayonetta 3, the development process, what they do as a developer, how things are going, what they're excited about when it comes to Bayonetta 3 and everything. And I'm not going to rehash all the information that we already know. He went over a ton of different things, like in a series of tweets, like a really big Twitter rant talking about different things. He explained how they are the developer, they receive funds from publishers in order to do things. They don't own Bayonetta, they don't own any of the rights to it, and he explained how and why Bayonetta 2 is an exclusive again, because they did receive funds, they were having problems with Bayonetta 2, Sega did not want to complete the development, so then Nintendo stepped in with their funds to make Bayonetta 2 exclusive on the Wii U. But I think the biggest thing out of everything that Hideki Kamiya said is that he talked about Platinum Games and Bayonetta 3, and that's the biggest thing that I want to go over. So let's go over some of his tweets here, and I'll kind of give my thoughts as a Bayonetta superfan. As for Bayonetta 3, it was decided from the start that the game was going to be developed using Nintendo's funding. Without their help, we would have not been able to kick off this project. All of the rights still belong to Sega and Nintendo. The rights owners decide the game should be made for the Nintendo Switch. Game development is a business. Each company has its own circumstances and strategies. Sometimes this means games get made, sometimes it means they get canceled. But I believe that every single person involved is dedicated to delivering the best possible experience. I know that, to me at least, that's one of the biggest goals when I set to work. I cannot express how happy I am that we can get to make Bayonetta 3, and we intend to do everything within our power to make it as good as it can be. That's all we can do, and we consider it our greatest mission. It took a while for production of Bayonetta 3 to be okay, but now that it has kicked off, I hope it will turn into a wonderful encounter for you all. And that was, just like I said, a series of about 15 tweet that he put together, and where he talked about a bunch of different things. And that's what I've been trying to explain to the people that still cry and complain, because Hideki Kamiya still to this day gets a ton of people crying and complaining about Bayonetta 2 not being on other platforms out there in terms of natively, not Semu or anything like that. And he has to kind of explain this to everyone, how this works, and that's exactly how it is. They get the funds, and the publishers, they decide where the game is going to go. If it's funded by Nintendo, then it's going to be a Nintendo exclusive, or it's going to be wherever they want it to be. Heck, Nintendo even allowed the translations from their funds for the English dub to be used in the PC version. That was funded through Nintendo stuff when it comes to it. So I just think it's ridiculous that he still has people coming over to him and crying and complaining about Bayonetta 3 being a Switch exclusive. I've seen a ton of different videos. Heck, we watched one of them live, and Bayonetta 3 is going to be amazing. So I mean, just to say it's going to be amazing, and people should more play like the games instead of worrying about the consoles for the most part. I mean, it's one thing if you want to have a certain game on a console for comfort reasons. Obviously, Nintendo Switch portability is great. And then it's another thing if you just don't want to get the console at all because of the system that it's on. I mean, I have all the different systems here. In order for me to play Bayonetta 1, 360, that's the best place to play it back when it first released. Now it's on PC. But I mean, it's just one of those things to where that's how it happens, guys. And I'm extremely excited about Bayonetta 3. I think it's going to be one of the best action games ever made, if not the best action game. My favorite action game of all time is Bayonetta 2. In terms of like stylish action, like the God of War style game, Devil May Cry, I absolutely love Bayonetta 2. I think it's the best. So that game's coming out this week, so I can't wait to replay that. So Bayonetta 3 is going to be amazing, and Hideki Kamiya broke it down really well here. So if you want to see the full article here, the full tweets, make sure you check out the link in the description below. So what do you guys think about Bayonetta 3 coming to Nintendo Switch exclusively? Are you guys excited about the game? What do you think about what Hideki Kamiya had to say here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next video. Peace.